During this cross-country session, Roxy and her group were going to discover new parts of the cross-country course, including water. Roxy was quite tense and the morning didn't start too well. During the warm-up, going up was fine, coming back down was not so great. And she gave her mum a bit of a scare. Next, it was time for a new jump that had been placed in the sand school, and this would become part of the course later in the day. As soon as Roxy got Eclair lined up straight, they got over it with no problems. I have to admit, Eclair wasn't doing much to improve Roxy's confidence, but she carried on, as she has to do this in order to pass her next horse riding qualification. It's hard when you're scared, but she was proud of herself afterwards. Time for a couple of jumps that she's more comfortable with, before heading off to discover some new jumps. I knew that Roxy wasn't finding this easy, and it was quite hard to watch. Eclair needs Roxy to believe that they can do it, and as soon as she doubts herself or him, he also doubts himself, and it becomes a vicious circle. Next, they were back over some easier jumps to try to relax things, and then it was time to head to the water. Things didn't get much better down at the water either. Eclair gradually started to get the hang of it. There was no way he was going to be cantering through the water just yet, and he certainly wasn't going to give in to peer pressure. All of the other horses did it with no problems whatsoever, but Eclair was adamant he was not going to have a smooth ride through the water. He was much happier leaving the water than entering the water. However, he soon changed his mind when it came to tackling the jump. After a friendly chat with Coach, and by following the lead from one of his friends, Eclair finally got the courage to jump out of the water. Now this obstacle I would have expected Roxy to be scared of. On the top of a hill, landing downhill. This is certainly not Roxy's idea of the perfect jump. But by this point she had got into her groove, lost her nerves, and started to attack the course as we would expect it to. Although the way they jumped out of the arena didn't do much for my nerves, Roxy was fine and off they went. I still think Roxy was quite glad when it was all over. Again, I think she did great. Perseverance paid off. Congratulations on passing your Gallo 6.
Maya!
For this trip, as we were going further afield, Lexi joined us on horseback. Before long, she was testing out some of the cross-country obstacles herself. Lexi's not at all confident when it comes to jumping above about 50 centimetres, so it was a big surprise when she wanted to attack even the smallest of cross-country jumps. Well done, Lexi, and a big thanks to her coach for letting her tag along and have fun with everybody else.